Hello, and welcome back to the Owl Upstairs Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we are connecting to the energy of the full moon in Leo. So, in just a few days, we have a full moon in the sign of Leo. And full moons mark the end of a lunar cycle, and they offer us a chance for transition. So, during this time, we can release and recognize situations in our lives on a deeper level. Under full moons, emotions and intuition usually run pretty high, and it allows us to decide what we want to carry with us into the future and figure out what is serving us and what we need to release. So, the overall dynamics of this particular full moon in Leo are really powerful, very big, bold, and they have an underlying feeling of destiny. So, it invites you to embrace where you are today, right now in this present moment, and it shows you what you need to shift to make really big and bold choices to help you move forward in alignment with your highest good. So today we're asking Spirit what you need to know for this lunation cycle. Any signs, signals, and synchronicities, any guidance or events, anything that Spirit wants to share. So I'm opening it up to Spirit. What you can do is tune into your intuition, ask your higher self, your spirit team, which of these three tarot decks with the Strength card best resonates with you, or the one that you feel most drawn to. So this is the first Strength card, Beauty and the Beast. This is the second Strength card. And this is the third Strength card. So I'll use the tarot deck in the readings for piles 1, 2, and 3 that are listed here with this card. So tune into the energy that you feel like best resonates with you. And if you'd like to skip ahead, there is timestamps below in the description box with the readings, and I will see you there. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to go ahead and put your tarot deck to the side, and we will have a look at your oracle cards. So we have humanitarian service. Your soul longs to joyfully serve. Being of service is a huge calling that is honorable and satisfying. How are you being called to serve humanity? Serve with grace and humility and assist those that cannot help themselves. Be an advocate, a confidant, and an inspiration along the way. Wow. You are serving up huge gifts to the world. It's a really big calling. That's exciting. Okay, under this lunation cycle, you are also being called to surrender resentments. So holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, pile 1. My cats are very eager to participate in our reading today. Okay, I am surrounded by angels. Wow, I love this. So I was picking up something that is protected, or you can stand under my umbrella is what I was hearing. But I also am hearing like winds of change, and these flowers are just so nice. They're moving, like things are like moving through them. So I feel like we're surrendering and letting go of anger and things that happened perhaps in the past. And your angels are absolutely helping you with this. Let's see what else we have before we keep diving in. We have the Assad Foundations, Birth, Cycles, and Intuition. Something new is coming. Love that. Point of View, Gratitude, Assistance, Guidance, and Understanding. And Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Wow. Okay, pile number 1, I'm going to take a sip of my tea, and then we will dive in to this. Okay, so I feel like you're being asked to serve up something big. The universe is asking you to help people in some way. You have very, very big gifts to share, and I feel like you want to share them. And I feel like if you haven't been sure of how you can share these gifts, I think that this full moon you will learn or gain some understanding of maybe how you can be of service to others. Surrendering whatever has been painful in the past is going to be really big for you. I keep seeing keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. So if you have felt like you keep getting knocked down, if you feel like the universe is like, I don't know, just you're like, throw me a bone, please. With the dog that makes me laugh, throw me a bone. I feel like keep focusing on all the good, keep focusing on all of your strengths and what you do have to offer. And as you let go of the past or things that come up for you, because we do get triggered under full moons or things that need to be brought to light, we see them under full moon cycles. So one of the strengths that you have is that you're being divinely protected. Whatever your truth is being protected by the angelic realm. They really, really want you to step up and serve with whatever gifts that you have for humanity. Let me see, what are the gifts that pile number 1 has? I think you bring a lot of light into the world. You might have a spiritual career or some spiritual connection that you enjoy for yourself, but I think Spirit's also asking you to share this joy with other people. Maybe you have some wisdoms or things that you can teach other people. I think as you follow your intuition, you will start to see things bloom. And this card makes me feel very peaceful. I feel like we're going with the flow, we're initiating. It's like we don't really know how the path is going to unfold, but I do feel like we intuitively know what's that next one step. Like we can see the steps forward that we need to take. We can feel into them. And I feel like for whatever reason, you've either been here before or like there's circumstances or situations that have happened before where you're just like an evolution of the process that you're experiencing. But I do feel like you have a lot more wisdom this time around. Way more wisdom. And I feel like you trust yourself a lot more too. I do feel like there's a little bit of vulnerability as we move through this, but I also feel deep peace and a lot of ease and grace. So even though I feel not like I'm not like here's A to B, a straight line forward, I also trust that wherever I'm going is the right thing. So that's wonderful. The key that you have is going to help unlock these new doors. You have the key. You are the key. So this point of view card is interesting because I see the feather over him and then he looks very happy and joyous. If you have any sort of concern, or perhaps we are, as we all do, get down from time to time when we get frustrated and we're just ready to bang our head against the wall, as you shift into Spirit's perspective, the higher perspective, the gifts of the situation, because when we get I almost wanted to say screwed, so we'll go with it. So when we get screwed by other people and it really hurts, as a way to keep ourselves safe and protected, it's very easy to put up walls and to say, absolutely not, I'm never doing this again. I'm speaking from my personal experience. I'm sure some of you will know what I mean by that. Unless you're an incredibly forgiving person in that. And if you are, please teach me your ways. Because I'm trying. Forgiveness is one of those things that I have to constantly work at to create peace for myself. Because when we hang on to anger, anger is not something that hurts other people. Anger is a poison that we have that we, like, let's say we had 2 drinks and our anger is the poison that we put in our drink that we want to harm somebody else with, But instead of it harming somebody else, we drink the drink and it harms us. It's like it erodes all of the goodness within our lives. And it kind of it becomes really heavy. Like I feel like I have a heaviness on my shoulders from just like harboring all of this, like the weight of this resentment. So I feel like under this lunation cycle, perhaps one of the gifts you'll receive is a different point of view, maybe on how to forgive or to let go, because forgiveness is not for the other person. If the other person wronged you or screwed you, we're not saying that we forgive them and we're, like gonna let it go, water under the bridge to get them off the hook. Forgiveness is for yourself so that you don't have to carry around this heavy weight and this heavy burden. And maybe it's about you having the strength, this lunation cycle, to give this resentment, this anger, this frustration, this pain, this heavy weight to the angels so that you can feel light again. And so you can tap into the joy and the grace and the abundance and they're what they want for you, because whatever your gifts is, this is so big. I mean, and maybe you share online, or I don't know how you reach people globally, but something that you have to offer wants to be shared on a very, very big scale, because you have a lightness or a higher perspective that not everyone has. And I mean, this is beautiful. I think one of the gifts too is transformation. Maybe you're into alchemy, or maybe, independence. When I when I look at this card, I'm hearing Glamorous by Fergie. So I don't know if you like to dance or express yourself in very fun and flamboyant ways, but listening to that song always makes me feel fancy. So I feel like you're getting like this new, it almost reminds me of Cinderella too. Like when Cinderella was crapped on by her stepmother and her stepsisters, she was really the one that had all this beauty and wisdom and gorgeousness within herself. And Spirit came through and provided huge amounts of transformation for Cinderella by providing her with this fairy godmother. And, she got the glass slipper at the ball and whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Like she ended up undergoing the biggest transformation. She got the storybook ending because she went through all of that the challenges to have the alchemical transformation that led her to beautiful, glamorous new beginnings, strength and independence. Like this is very queen energy. So I feel like this type of energy brings you joy, like healing on a very deep level, of letting things go, stepping into your power, your authenticity, letting your light shine. All of this feels very much like it's in alignment with this lunation cycle for you, but it's in alignment with what Spirit wants for you too. And if you've asked for Spirit to use you in some way, to be of service or to help humanity, or I don't know, I just feel like you've been asking for this. And so if you have asked, this is part of the message from Spirit to you to keep working on letting go of the past, and to know that they are supporting you every single step of the way. So now I feel like it's also 222. So if 222 is a big sign or a symbol or a synchronicity for you, maybe that's also a sign. But let's ask Spirit now to kindly share with pile number 1 the messages that will best serve them, any additional messages for them for this lunation cycle, please. Okay, so we have wishing upon a star. I love that. Wow. I heard, I'm wishing for the one I love to find me today. So I feel like it could be relationship potentially, but also I do feel like this is your hopes, dreams, wishes, the things that you wish upon a star for that bring you peace, joy, love, happiness, abundance. I think this is also your soul calling. Maybe you've wished for Spirit to share your calling with you. The big bad wolf. And we have the Guide of Crystals. So in the traditional tarot, this is the Devil card, and then this is the King of Pentacles. Santa. Interesting. Oh my gosh, we literally just talked about Cinderella. Wow, we just talked about this. Pile number 1. That's crazy. Here's her dress too. Ooh, I have body chills. Okay, 2 of Swords, and we have the 3 of Crystals. Freaking so cool. I love it when they do that. Okay, so some more messages for pile number 1. First of all, we have Santa pointing at the big bad wolf. And to me, this is another confirmation that whatever you want, this wish, this dream, being of service, this needs to be addressed. And here we have a full moon. Okay, so if you have no clue what path you're supposed to take, or if you're stuck, we have of course, the moon card again, but we have it with Cinderella. I need to take a breath. I'm getting excited. Okay. You're being called to look at the things that hold you back from doing what you love and serving others. And I truly feel like it goes back to the past and you're raining on your parade. Somebody rained on your parade. And again, I'm so sorry about that. But by letting this go, the higher polarity of the big bad wolf card is that you're liberated. There's freedom. And you don't just have like little bits of freedom. You have freaking Santa Claus. Like Santa Claus travels all across the world to bring gifts to people. You're being nudged to be Santa. Again, I'm not sure how you can quiet these, this critical voice. And we might ask for more about this in a minute. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. But you're being asked to step into, surrender your fears, because this feels like fear. And know that on the other side of this, everything that you wish and dream and hope for is right there. Like you are forming a brand new foundation, a new cycle. I do again feel like it's interesting because the moon also has to do with intuition. We have moon here. So again, this is a really big lunation cycle for you. Like huge. Tulips to me represent friendship. Also unconditional love. So maybe this has to do with some type of relationship or friendship that you have with, it could be yourself, but I do feel like this has to do with other people, because typically people bring us the biggest lessons. Like we learn huge lessons through experiences with others. It's just how it is. But when we have keys of knowledge and wisdom, when we experience them. So if you're fighting somebody, isn't it interesting? We have 2 people and 2 people. This is just crazy. You can't make this stuff up. This is actually mind-blowing right now to me. You're sword fighting with somebody. And this could also, again, be your inner conflicts, like your head and your heart, or 2 aspects of yourself fighting for, let's look at oblivious, separate, dispassionate, and ignorance versus gratitude, assistance, guidance, and understanding. I keep hearing head and heart, head and heart. So it's your perhaps ego or your mind playing tricks on you with your heart. And that's where the angels and this spirit, this higher perspective is being called for. So maybe it's sitting with people you truly love and who see the best qualities in you, because sometimes we need people to just help us to see things within ourselves that we don't always see. Or I feel like you're also being called to slow down and to look and reflect on where you have been versus where you are now. Because I think slow and steady wins the race here. And also it gives you the time to be able to process something and transform it, which is what you want. Perhaps it has to do with your heart chakra and collaborating with other people. to do something like this, to have a mission of this, I was going to say volume, vastness, this huge quantity calling. I'm not, to be in a position that is this big, where you have the whole world in your hands, you can't do this alone. So if you are used to working independently, or if you're used to being somebody who is a doer and maybe not the leader, I feel like you're being called to learn how to work with people in a different capacity, because we need leaders, but we also need people to help us with this mission. Santa didn't do everything himself. He had his elves to help him. And he also had Mrs. Claus, of course, who is probably the bread and butter of the whole operation, but that's for another day. Okay. You have the wisdom. But how can we collaborate with others in a healthy, harmonious way? I think this goes back to drinking the poison and figuring out, you know what, I also just heard is that, gosh, I need it to come back and land again. It's not always about you. Sometimes people do things because they're operating on a very different level, and we just assume that it's us. And then we get defensive, and that's when we put up our boundaries and we get our claws out, just like the wolf has his claws out. And it's never anything that you've done. I think that's important for you to understand as well. And maybe this is part of the cycle. Maybe you've seen this happen over and over again. A lot of times people operate from a place of consciousness to where, whenever and wherever they were hurt, and they don't even know that they're doing this. But I think it's important for you to look at yourself with a lot of compassion and look at others with a lot of compassion too, because I feel like this type of behavior is not something that you should take personally. And by being the leader or setting the example for others on how to play nice and how to bring this into harmony is going to get you really, really far. You'll have a lot of support from the unseen realms. It'll bring a lot of abundance. I think things will flow. This made me feel like things were moving very easily. You have gifts that are being brought to you by the divine. So I feel like you just need to trust. Nimmers. Sorry, pile one. I do want to go back and ask for additional clarity on the devil card to make sure that that was the right message, that it's not really about you. It's about, we have this one, and then these go with the moon. Yeah, it's not necessarily about you. New perspectives, new mindset, new thoughts, being the one that brings in higher states of consciousness and being the leader. That's what I feel like this is about. Also tending to your inner child and being very courageous. So here again, we have Spirit crowning you with how proud they are of your inner strength and your courage to set forth on this path. And it's interesting because we're alone here again. So I feel like you're coming out of the woods and you're beginning to think about new thoughts, new ideas, new ways of doing stuff, working harmoniously with others. Yeah, we're hearing new tunes. We're allowing ourselves to move on and learn how to collaborate with people in a different way. Typically, I don't know why this is the Four of Wands. I saw this as the Five of Wands. That's so strange and so awesome at the same time, because the Five of Wands is all competitive and kind of like sword fighty. With the Four of Wands, everyone here is working so nicely together. Like, look at the difference between the energy of like collaboration and tending to one garden as a team versus this fighting energy. So pile number one, this full moon Be mindful of the thoughts that you think about others. Be mindful not to take their actions personally. Know that you're being asked to step up and lead in some sort of way to help transform, I think, not just you, but others as well. Remember that you're Santa and you bring lots of gifts to the world. Your dreams and wishes are coming true. Let go of the anger, let go of the resentment, follow your intuition, and also follow your heart and your heart's guidance. Listen to that song for Fergie Glamorous, or any other music that helps you feel upbeat and happy, so that you can come and learn how to harmoniously work with others, so that you can be the leader of this. Pile number 1, this is your reading for today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your support in my channel, and I'm so glad that Spirit brought us together. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, you'll get notified every time I upload a video in the future. And I would love to hear what you're leading, because this is beautiful. We need more people in service like you. So thank you, pile number 1, for this beautiful gift that you're here to share with the world. I hope you have a wonderful full moon in Leo, and we will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn here by this card, the Strength. We are going to set aside your tarot deck for just a moment, and we're going to check out our oracle cards first. So first we have Awakening. You've been receiving messages that it's time for your soul to expand beyond the 3D vision. You're an old soul that has come here to do many great things, and you've come to realize this through doing the hard work and merging with your higher self. There is no going back, so enjoy this new way of being by having acceptance and inner peace moving forward. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Okay. Good stuff. Pile number 2. Surrender to prayer. Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and the answers and support will arrive. Oh gosh. Okay. The awakening process is it can be a lot. It can be very dramatic. It can be a bumpy ride. It can be painful. It can be so many things. If it's ease and grace for you, then that's amazing. If you are having any sort of bumpiness right now, which perhaps we are, I'm not sure yet, call upon your divine and sacred and ask them to help you, or help you with whatever you're going through. Since you are someone who's connected to their higher selves, I would assume that you have a connection to the divine and sacred. Almost, yes. I feel like that's very, yes. So whatever that looks like for you. We'll come back. Clear your karma. Okay, thank you, Spirit. The pillar of severity. Severity, courage, and form. Okay. Evolution. Empowerment, transformations, protected, and preparedness. The opposite side is anxiety, unexpected, distracted, and resistant. Okay. We have the initiation, the rite of passage, and the crossing of the threshold. Ooh, you are going through a big change. Wow. And awakening. What? Holy moly. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. This is a huge synchronicity for you, pile number 2. Wow. Oh my. Yay. This is awesome. Okay. Pile number 2, let me take a sip of my tea and get comfy, and we will dive into this. One moment. Here we go. Okay, when I first tune into this energy, I immediately look at the Saturn and the Karma card. Okay, so this I keep saying new moon. Okay, full moon in Leo. And it's funny because I've said this a couple of times now. This full moon might feel like a new beginning for you. And I feel like it is an opportunity for you in some way because you're releasing something. And sometimes the release actually gives us the bandwidth and the space to move forward. So perhaps this is a new opportunity for you by surrendering something. You have space then to then expand. You have space then to, we can't grow if we're in a box, or like if we need to shed some skin, we can't grow until we let go of the old. So I think that this full moon is going to be an opportunity for a lot of new energy because you're letting something go. The universe wants you to open up to higher perspectives, I think, and your psychic gifts. Your third eye, I think, is a huge thing. And also, this symbol for me, two things, is fire. So the element of fire. It also makes me think of a temple and like prayer. So, which, you know what, is really funny because this card, surrender to prayer. So if you are struggling at all to let something go, when you pray from the heart, miracles happen. And I don't know if you're someone who believes in miracles. Sometimes it's hard to believe that miracles are a thing, but miracles can be part of your everyday today reality. Like they are our birthright to experience every single day. So miracles don't have to be, even though we'd all love to win the lottery, that would be miraculous. Having a change in perspective, having a burden lifted off of you, having sight to be able to see how to do something a certain new, different way, having inner peace, having acceptance for what is, all of these things could be a form of miracle. So whatever you're experiencing and going through, maybe you can ask Spirit, because I know I have on more than one occasion, I've prayed for, may my lessons be as painless as possible. Because I don't always love going through these major tower moments, major transformative moments, major shift from one point of being to another, and feeling like the rug's being pulled out from underneath my feet, feeling like, the sky is literally falling down. It doesn't, we can be held and we can be lifted through changes way more gracefully, fluidity. It's almost like also too, maybe asking Spirit, if you're not someone who's comfortable with doing psychic work or spiritual work necessarily while you're in like a meditative state, or like in meditation, but you do a lot of astral traveling or like dream time work, maybe talk to your spirit team and pray that you can remember the dreams, the conversations, the stuff from your dream time to help you with this, or maybe ask them to help you with these upgrades or integrating the information, the downloads, the things that they're giving you, and asking you to let go of during dream time. I also feel like a new way of doing something is going to bring you a lot more joy. I feel like you want this. You want to feel light. You want a new way of, like, this is something that you're looking forward to. Yeah, because I feel like we've seen things differently. We've had that clarity. We know we need to let something go. I feel like the full moon, here I go again, almost saying new moon, the full moon has this portal for us to step into this Mikatan. I don't know what the Mikatan is. Menkana, I don't know, it's some tropical paradise. So, of your heart. So it's something your heart really, really wants. I feel like this is soul level work. This is definitely soul level work. And karmic work. Let's see. I also feel like this is justice too. Like clearing your karma, to me, doesn't always have to be like it, all the negative is on you. Negative's relative. But this is almost like you've accumulated a lot of good to create action for the new. Let go of how things once were. Like this is your gift, is that it has been cleared. That's what I'm hearing. That this is a strength that you have. You've cleared this karma. You took back your power in some way. You cut cords, you've taken action, you're ready to initiate something, communicated some new ideas, or I don't know. It's like you've really learned how to stand in your strength in a really beautiful way. I think it's taken you a lot of courage to stand up and be this way, 100%. But I think that's also why you have this good karma, because by being your authentic self and taking action and doing what is really and truly right for you, no matter how challenging the transformation, that's going to be clearing huge karmic debts. Maybe not even from just this lifetime. Like you're going from one level of consciousness, one ball game, one playing field. Like this is one world. And we're stepping through and entering an entirely new dimension, realm, portal. Like this is really, really big work, pile number 2. Like this is not easy work. This is transformative, heart-centered work where your higher self is like literally, you're embodying your higher self, your truth, your authenticity, your courage, like who you are at a soul level. You're saying, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm fully living this life now. No ifs, ands, or buts. Wow. Very, very cool. Okay, let's draw some tarot cards. Let's see. Spirit, could you kindly share? Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Well, let's see what that was. 8 of Swords. I don't normally do that, so there's the Tower. Could you please kindly share with pile number 2 the very best information that will serve them, thank you, and their highest good? Wow, I also have a lot of heart pain right now, chest pain, sadness. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's this. You're putting walls up. This is kind of connected in this way, where it's like you see the higher vision, you're putting walls up and you're saying, I'm not letting you rain on my parade anymore. We're not doing this. I don't think you're allowing yourself to look back either. Like, you can't be who you once were, because once you awaken to a certain level of consciousness and a certain level of truth, you can't go backwards. Like that Matrix movie. Oh my gosh! Pile number 2, I have a goose walking in my front yard. 2 geese. 3. Wow. Okay, I've done this before. I don't do it very often. Don't mind my cat towers. Oh my god, it's a whole gaggle. Oh my god, it's a whole freaking flock of geese. This is funny. Okay, so pile number 2, you're going to find your tribe. They're going to just show up on your doorstep. I promise you. We're going to have a whole flock. It's going to be great. That's so funny, pile number 2. I love that for you so much. Your tribe's coming. So throughout this transformation, if it's felt very lonely, if it's felt very isolated, if you feel like you can't find your people, know that your tribe's stepping in, and you're crossing a threshold where you will find a group of people, beings, energies that all work cohesively together. We just talked about the flock. How about that? Yeah, it's going to be fast moving transition once we get there. Amazing. The Emperor. You have the 8 of Cups. There it is. Oh my god, 888. Abundance. And we just had an abundance of geese. Wow. Your fortune's changing. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. 2 of Cups. Wow. Okay. Sorry, pile number 2. Let me get it together. I'm just excited for you. 3 of Cups. Yes. And there's the tower. There she is. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me move all these over and let's have a look. Oh my God. Sorry, pile two. I'm just like, just mind blowing how this stuff plays out sometimes because you can't make it up. Okay, first off, we have lots of abundance. With the Eight of Swords, you're moving on, quick changes, beauty ahead. We have this Saturn vibe again with the Emperor. But you've accumulated a lot of freaking wisdom. And that's what's going to aid you in protecting you during this transformation. Harmony, Three of Cups, Two of Cups, and Three of Cups. It's interesting because all of these cats are independent, but yet I know in the traditional Three of Cups, it's like a collaboration. So I almost feel like this cat knocked over this cup for this cat to drink out of. It's like almost like it's like the domino effect in some interesting way. Okay. So when we have this tower moment and we have this major transformation, because many people are involved with this, it's like the universe is going to destroy this, but they gave you an open window to walk through. And I feel like this is the domino effect. So you'll have, there's a lot of flowers and abundance and happiness in this card. You're flying high. It's going to allow yourself to come into harmony, mind and heart, carried on the backs of the wings of heaven. Spirit's guiding you and carrying you through this. So even if this feels really just unexpected, full of anxiety, to know how powerful you are and to know how strong you are to be able to see this through the other side is what Spirit, I think, really wants you to note, because there's something so much better for you and it's going to come quick. And it's the abundance that you want. Abundance on a lot of different levels. You're an old soul that has come here to do many great things, and you've done the hard work. Enjoy the new way of being by having acceptance and inner peace moving forward. So part of the abundance, I feel like, is inner peace. But you don't have a red normal apple. You have all of these golden apples. So like, you don't just get a small sliver of something. You get all of the flowers, all of the apple trees. Like, you rule the kingdom that you are now creating for yourself, because you've taken your power back and expressed and embodied who you truly are. And you've been protected from any snakes or any kind of outside influence that has maybe slithered into your vibe. You know, I thought the snake might be you shedding skin, which I do feel like there's an element of that, but I do feel like there could be a little bit of trickery as well, especially with Mercury present. So if there's been any kind of like weird tricks, again, go back to asking the universe for support and clarity while you move through this. And maybe that's what this is. Like, this cat I kept looking at where he was looking, because he's kind of like out to lunch, outer space, like la-di-da. So I don't know if somebody like maybe knocked over your chalice, but whatever they did doesn't matter, because you are evolving and you're growing and you're going into new beautiful worlds of expansion and harmony and transformation, inner bliss. And this is going to bring you so much joy and fulfillment on so many levels. So know that this is absolutely something that is meant for you. You're on your way to the other side. Peace is coming. Luck So much luck, lots of luck, and protection. I think this is the most. I don't know why this is the most important thing for me to tell you, but like for you to know that you're protected from the snakes and all of the deception and the lower vibrational energies seems really important. So I do want to make sure I state that um, you are safe during this, from one sea to the next. Yeah, and that you have a whole flock behind you, which is cool. All right, pile number 2. This was your reading today. I would love to hear about this transformation, your spiritual awakening, your transition, your moving, your, experience, near-death experience, something that has altered the course of your life for the best. I would love to hear about it. So if you want to share, you feel called to share, let me know in the comments below. And if you feel called to hit that like and subscribe button, you will get notified every time I upload a new reading. So pile number 2. Have an amazing day, and we will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to go ahead and put your tarot cards off to the side for just a moment, and we will have a look at your oracle cards. So first we have Childhood Wound Retrieve. Your inner child is looking to heal, so you can move on by understanding the situation in a new light. Going within to heal requires self-love and compassion, and gaining perspective through energy work or therapy can be very helpful to access tools to empower your inner child. When I turned this card over, I got hit by an overwhelmingly powerful smell of hairspray. And this is somebody who's coming forward in spirit, and I don't know how they're connected to you in some way, but what it reminds me of is the purple Aussie hairspray from whenever that was in the 90s. I don't even know if they make that anymore, but it was just a really strong hairspray smell. So it could also have somebody connected to somebody in spirit that you would have connection with a strong smelling hairspray or perfume, maybe. We'll see what else. Okay, surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you're telling yourself. Stay in the moment and focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. I'm hearing trial by fire. Tides are turning. Saturn, ring, karmic stuff. Okay, we'll see what else. Let your inner fire warm you, not burn you. Well, beautiful radiance. Love that. Oh my gosh. We didn't start the fire. That's what I'm hearing when I tune into this one. Cool. We have the Hierophant, loyalty, kindness, and guidance. Ooh, and some luck. Love that. No, they're not 4-leaf clovers, but that's how I saw them in this yellow. Then we have career transition, change, excitement, opportunity, and advancement. Be the real you, freedom, authenticity, uniqueness, and courage. And we have Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. Okay, cool. Love that too. Let me move these over and I'll be right back. Okay, so pile number 3. I keep getting flooded with lots of messages, even when I was moving these cards. Hearing something about your mom and your dad, or like mother and father energy, and then also I don't know if we're going back and revisiting them, or they're both crossed over in spirit, or something that they've passed down through the lineage you're removing, but there's some really big family energies, which, you know what is really interesting, Leo is all about the inner child. So under this lunation cycle, under this full moon in Leo, there's an opportunity here, and the universe is asking you to take a look at your inner child, which is your authentic self. Not always easy to go in and revisit some of the things that happened to us during childhood. So if you've ever heard of shadow work, or if you've ever felt called to working with a counselor, mentor, somebody who can help you to shed light and offer you perspective on some of these fears that you face, perhaps anger too, patterns that you've picked up from maybe your dad or from a father figure in your life, would be helpful. Not always, again, easy to do, but the more your inner child feels held and loved and nurtured and cared for, you receive gifts from the fragmented parts of your soul and self that felt like they couldn't allow themselves to be shared or shine back whenever the wound happened. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say you're 5 years old and you always wanted to be, a professional skateboarder, or like I kept seeing roller skates. So a roller skater, or like ice skating rink or something, or like at a birthday party, you fell down and you got hurt and no one was there to help comfort and nurture you. So every time you get hurt, you feel like you have to like take care of it yourself. You can't let people in. That would be an inner child wound because you were never taught how to nurture and care for yourself. I am not a psychologist. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. So I am not a professional on like mental health and inner child work, but I can share with you the tools and the resources that I've used, such as this deck, which I will link in the description box below. I bought it off Etsy by a lady who is a psychologist, and then she has a shadow workbook that goes along with it. So something like this that helps you to do that work within. But if you don't know where to start, maybe find a leader or somebody that can help guide you um, to go within, because this is not easy work. So a little bit about my personal stuff. I had a traumatic loss when I was, it was in 2019. I don't know how, but it was a few years ago. And I spent, from even before 2019 through sometimes even now, in regular weekly therapy for years, like probably 4 or 5 years. And it was the best thing I could have done for myself, because helping me to understand why I felt the way I did when I had certain things come up, or why certain patterns show up in my marriage, or why certain things occur in different relationships dynamics for me at work, was so empowering, because it just gave me a foundation to look at the world through a different lens that I was not ever given before. Because when you're a child, you look at the world so much differently than you do as an adult. And even as an adult, when we experience trauma and loss, and it puts us in fight or flight, and that's a protective mechanism. I mean, it's a great way to help us stay safe. But if we're always staying in fight or flight, it's hard to be authentic and to enjoy life again. It's like we're turning up the high defense, and then instead of the fire being a way to keep us safe, or our passions to be expressed in a loving way, we can hurt ourselves by taking things maybe to the extreme. But we don't know what extreme is if we're never taught originally. So know that it's not your fault. Whatever this is not your fault. But as an adult, you can make choices to learn and grow, read books, remove yourself from one situation to the next, take off the masks and the coat you used to wear, because you're allowed to be free and to live your life authentically. What else do we have? Let's see. I feel like you are a very passionate person. How can we find, let's see. So who, I feel like there's something, so these ladies here are very loyal to this individual. Loyalty is what stands out to me on this card. Also, we talked about this being a counselor, receiving higher guidance, maybe spiritual guidance of some sort. But also, I feel like it's important that you honor and look at what are you loyal to? And can you find the courage within yourself to be loyal to your truths and yourself and what lights you up? I took off my sweatshirt for pile 1 and 2, but I put it back on for pile 3, and it's yellow. So we have yellow, yellow, and yellow, which is all about your solar plexus chakra and finding your power, shining your light, doing what makes you happy. So find things that make you happy and bring you joy and make you feel like you, the courage to just be yourself. And by embracing one paradigm, wearing this coat or like going from this realm where you're not feeling your best self into heaven, not literal heaven, but like from maybe a place of darkness to a place of like heaven on earth, from a place of like, office suits are kind of, they're business professional, like they can be very, classy and nice, but like underneath here she's got her fun earrings on and she's sparkly and it's fun. It's like I'm going from maybe a corporate job to like, something that suits you better, or like, maybe you were brought up that you had to like work a corporate job or like be a certain way, and now you're like, no, that doesn't actually resonate with me. Like that's not freeing. That's not like, that's not what I love. It could also have had things happen when you were around 17 or 15. Those numbers seem relevant as well. I also heard that they could be years, so 2017 or 2015 could be relevant as well. So doing some reflecting, or patterns that come up under this lunation cycle that would connect to those time frames. Maybe somebody who crossed over during that time frame. What I think will make you really happy and bring you joy, though, is learning and your spiritual practice. This makes me feel like you're almost like, if you're not someone, okay, let me gather myself. If you have already done a lot of spiritual work and you have already gone to therapy or worked on yourself or done all of that, I'm wondering now if you're being called to take off the masks or take off the old version of you and step into being the leader, being the priestess, being the way shower, showing people what it's like to serve from the heart, to open up your heart and to let go of any of the old beliefs that maybe you grew up with about not being able to be in a position like this, or not with Taurus here, it makes me almost think too, like being in a spiritual role and feeling like you can't have money, or like can't live a life of abundance. Like abundance only comes to those who work in corporate, which is not true. Not true, not true. You can be a spiritual leader and live an abundant, joyous, happy life as well. And go on vacations. Like all this water back here, like she's at the beach, she's in this, I don't know, beautiful penthouse somewhere. And here we have this gorgeous beachy energy with all of these lovely ladies who are the way showers. And I think that really lights you up, being with like-minded individuals, connecting to souls that you have lots of past lives with. Maybe you have a connection with Egyptian goddesses as well, Isis, Hathor, Sekhmet. And if you are looking for ways to energetically transform perhaps that might be an opportunity or a way to explore as well. You know, transformation through alchemy or through a spiritual practice. Let's see what your cards have to say, pile 3. I feel like, Spirit, thank you for all of this that you've given us so far. Could you kindly share a little bit more with pile number 3 on the very best information for them for this, wow, lunation cycle? I feel like that is way too many. Yeah, I feel like that's way too many. Any additional ones from this set, please? Could you, if there's any cards that really need to come out from this set, could you please share those with us right now, Spirit? Okay, we're gonna just put these off to the side and we'll look at these first. Okay, so first we have death. This is major transformation. We already had transition and we already have taking off a cloak, but like this is just like, yes, we are transforming. Also could actually be connected to someone who's crossed over in spirit. That was the first hit I got whenever we turned over this card, and it's connected to this. So I would be very surprised if you have not had someone die that has caused a lot of trauma and fear within your life in some area of your life. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Love that. Knight of Swords. These are connected. Really, like I started hearing that song again. Okay. Nine of Swords. Six of Swords. Okay, pile number 3. It's like you're being pulled out of this position. I feel like she is this. She even has the same red hair color. This is your inner child. Anxious, but having a lot of love and compassion. I think you'll start to see how abundant and beautiful you are. Like you'll start to see your true colors, your true light. The mindsets are going to shift quickly and you'll be able to move on to things. I don't want to say easily, but it doesn't seem like it's just going to be a very hard transition whatsoever once you work through whatever this is. New ideas, new mindsets, new energy. I do feel like it has to do with the divine masculine too. Yielding his sword. This would have been a teenager. So again, 17 or 15 years old, or the years of that, depending on how old you were. Teenage years, teenage masculine energy. So if there's a connection to that in this for you, you'll be able to move on from this easily. Easily is relative, because everyone has their own unique experience. He's devouring this path. Sekhmet is an energy that you can work with in unconditional love. She is an Egyptian goddess that devours and transforms energy in her belly. The belly of the goddess is all about transformation. She consumes things and then transmutes energy for us so that we can see our beauty. She's a very fiery energy. If you feel called at all to look into working with that energy, I would encourage you to do that. Although it's not a small potato energy. I mean, she's big time. So just use your discernment and use your higher self's wisdom with that. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But I think that for some of you, that could be an opportunity. I know this is a lot of cards, but I also can't not look at them. So let's do it. We have the Princess of Swords, Queen of Swords. There's your discernment. Ten of Swords. Lots of swords. Lots of swords. Okay. Princess of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Sorry, pile 3. Princess of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 3 of Swords, Queen of Wands, the Star, Justice, the Empress, King of Cups, and 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so the good news, everyone. The worst, sorry, pile 3, my cat was in the way. The worst part of this is over. And you're being offered a brand new emotional healing opportunity of this wounds of the past. For me, I do feel like there has been more than one thing that has occurred as a child, young child, but then also probably again in your teenage years where the same kind of pattern or loop has gone through and happened. Maybe it made you feel really isolated and lonely. Maybe it made you feel like, you weren't able to manifest your dreams, desires, wishes, to live in the abundance that you wanted to live in. With clarity of your mind, so allowing your mind to lead and not the emotions, I think that's going to be really big for you. Because once we allow ourselves to create new patterns, new ways of being within our lives, and nurture it, I think not only are these creations going to help us with feeling more like ourselves, but it's also going to bring in a lot more wealth and abundance, like in the physical realm. And I think it'll be very emotionally fulfilling. I do feel like you're a very creative person and you do have specific dreams and wishes, hopes, and desires that you want. If you don't already know what those are, I do feel like you'll have threads being shown to you this lunation cycle. Balance for you is key. So if you're someone who gets really excited and really ambitious whenever you have a new opportunity that presents itself, make sure that you also balance work with self-care. Make sure you also listen to your higher self and that higher wisdom. Because we don't want to turn our backs on something that's actually really, really good for us, even if it feels very, very scary. Slow and steady wins the race is what I'm also hearing. And to take your time. Sometimes I feel like I don't know where I feel an impulsive energy, but I kind of felt an impulsive energy real quick. Maybe that was Knight of Swords, but it felt like something happened and then I had this impulse to just like get up and run or just leave or like something that was really, really good. I because I got triggered or there was something that happened, I was like, yep, nope, done. I'm gonna do this instead. And it's like, no, 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 no. Time out, time out, time out. Hold on, pause. Like, don't give in to those types of patterns. Be mindful with your emotions because you can be victorious over them. And it all comes from your mind, like what you're telling yourself, what stories that you're playing out again. Because you have a huge, huge opportunity to transform those stories. Justice, everything will balance out. So if you've had lack or if you've had things happen to where you felt like you couldn't be yourself, you felt like you weren't going to ever get your needs met, that's not true. And I think this full moon is going to help you see lots of abundant opportunities right in front of you. Spirit's going to guide you to where you need to be led, but you need to also trust and take action on what Spirit's guiding you to do. When you surrender and you release those fears and the anxieties and the pain of the past and allow yourself to trust yourself to make wise choices for you and to know that what your mind is telling you to do, I think, is more accurate than what your emotions are telling you what to do. Because I think our emotions sometimes can make our minds shift. And again, I'm not a therapist, so I take what I say with a grain of sand. But from personal experience and from what I have learned in my experience through therapy, I know that sometimes my emotions can make me act impulsively And I know sometimes the choices that I make are out of fear and not what my higher self wants. Because what my higher self wants sometimes is very scary, but it feels so good because it feels expansive and exciting and positive and just like, yes. But transformation is not always that easy, at least for me, because to say yes to things that I really want to makes me have to become a different person. But I know it's what my soul wants. Pile number 3. I feel this is your reading. Good luck on this transition, this transformation, this healing work that you're doing. This is big, big, big soul level work. So great job. Give yourself lots of love, lots of self-care, lots of nurturing. Take your time. Rome was not built in a day. You're not responsible for this, but you are responsible for how you move forward with your life. So, no, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. We had several kings and queens here. Queens, queen, king, queen. So, be receptive to what you want and use your discernment, you know. Sometimes the Queen of Swords is known as the Ice Queen because she can be a little bit cold and detached. But because she's saying no and she's honoring her higher self's emotional waters, it's going to help you move on. So be creative, have the love, peace, joy, happiness that you want, the inner and the outer fulfillment. Yeah. Pile number 3, this is your reading. If you feel called to share your story in the comment section below, we'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear just what you're creating, what you're transitioning into, what this new, full moon and Leo is bringing for you, what it's shedding light on, and yeah, just love to build a community with you. If you feel called to hit that like or subscribe button, you can do so in the section below, and that way you get notified every time I upload a video. File number 3, wishing you a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.